Buenos días, amigos. Soy Johnny. Y yeah, verdad. Este es mi podcast, dio. Well, I don't exactly know how to say podcast in Spanish, but happy Cinco de Mayo. It is I, Johnny, and you are listening to the Who the Heaven Is I podcast. Brought to you by whatever platform you listen to, because I haven't really jumped into the sponsorship or monetization thing or anything. Just doing this. Why is Johnny doing this? You might say to yourself. Well, um, it's a twofold thing. A, um, I think audible journaling is a great way to just get things out of your head and out into the universe and just. Ooh, it was late one last night. Either reflect and analyze or just release. That's the first reason. But then the second reason is, maybe there's someone out there that can align with some of the stuff I'm saying, or might have a different opinion and could leave a comment on the show and spark some ideas into my head. So there's that. So, how is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. I mean, I wake up happy and grateful to be in the game, and well, today's kind of a laid back episode. Um, what should today's episode be about? Actually, that should be my poll question today. Like, what would you like iJohnni to speak about? That's what it's going to be. What would you like iJohnni to speak about? And have you ever done a podcast? There you go. Because I, believe it or not, as I'm, I guess this is my 18th episode now. Something like that. 17, 18. I kind of lost track a little bit, which is kind of good. Oh, I beat the alarm waking up this morning. See, that's now I know I'm ahead of schedule. Boom. Stopping that. Boom. So, like I was saying, I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while, and me doing this is just that sense of accomplishment, just that like making the bed. You're gonna sleep in the bed again later the next day, but waking up and making it, you just feel like that sense of accomplishment. So this is my little sense of accomplishment, especially when I have a huge laundry list of things I'd like to accomplish in this realm. Getting something done every day makes you feel good, and feeling good is great. Yesterday I talked about radical optimism, and just getting out there, just spewing positivity. Today, well, I'm going to recap a little bit about the event yesterday. I went to the Warwick Cares event over on Railroad Green. And it was a celebration of mental health awareness. But also it was really paying tribute to those that have lost their lives to suicide or substance abuse, just any mental health illness. And so it was a very humbling experience. As it is, I feel like I am no better than anyone else. But being at this event, it's even more humbling because straight up, like, there's people at this event that have lost people close to them. And I to be honest with you, I did not see one crying person unless I looked in the mirror, because, like, I know some of these people's stories, so when I hear them speaking on the mic, I had to put the sunglasses down and just kind of. I was there filming for Judy Batista and Warwick Cares and taking some photos. So, like, I volunteer my time to kind of support her and her vision. And in the process, I'm seeing people hearing their stories. There was so much love from pain. And man, that is Alchemy 101. Like, straight up, like, we're all going through stuff. And sometimes you get the card dealt to you that is, you go and have some bad things happen. And how you respond, to me, is really the true showing of character, who you are. And it's not easy. I could never imagine, and not that I've tried to imagine, because, imagining one of my family members deceased would be horrific, but I can never imagine what any of these people have gone through. And I can only have an abundance of empathy for them and compassion. Um, one of the singers I met by chance in front of Mattingly's um, last year. It was yeah, what was it, during the summer? I guess it was. And out there was a gentleman by the name of John Irrizary, and he was playing guitar with his other friend John from Tangent, and out by the fire pits and outside on Main Street in Florida, New York, and straight up, man, they're playing the music and it sounds so beautiful. And then me and John Irrizary start talking, and straight up, he starts telling me about his quest, his mission, how his daughter passed away, took her life, and he's written some music, and man, I could only imagine the heavy load that he carries. But when we spoke, it was as if straight up that you know he he figured a way to kind of use his music to honor his daughter while bringing awareness to others. And that takes, man, that takes a purple heart. It takes a heart that says, hey, I'm putting others before me, because if it's up to me, not saying me personally, but you know, if people were just being about themselves, they wouldn't share their story with the world. They wouldn't put their pain on display. No, they would bottle that stuff up, put it in a chest, and hide it in the attic or the basement. And the fact that he's brave enough to not only sit with the emotions and process things, um, but then to craft some beautiful, beautiful stuff. The song "Vagabond." I mean, like, I literally doop, 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 had sunglasses up, and then he got on stage and started that song, and boop, sunglasses down. Because I got pretty emotional. Beautiful song, and as I hear it, that's the closest I can empathize. I imagine what it was like for him, and I don't want to like imagine that, but it's just the song it really brings you on a journey, especially when you know his backstory. So, um, yeah, it's not easy sometimes going through stuff, and that's why the Warwick Cares thing was so special, because it talked about all the different resources out there. And mental health is a serious thing. Not a lot of people take it seriously. And I think it's one of those things that if we all were a little more compassionate, and just follow the simple rule of just be cool, and got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because when you say stuff, you put stuff out to the universe. I'll have to find the link somewhere, and I've got this podcast going for a couple weeks. Maybe I'll start blogging once a day too, where I can put some links in and stuff. If you find value to that, then leave a comment, shoot me a text, give me a call. Because there's a video I saw online, and we were talking yesterday with some of the new friends I met yesterday over at Warwick Cares. And in the video, it's a man that takes two bottles of water, and to one of the bottles of water, he says nothing but kind words like "I love you," "You're great," "You're the best," Thank you so much, water." There's that, right? Then he puts the cap, puts it in the fridge, puts it in the fridge, and then another bottle. He does the exact opposite. He spews. He gets all nasty, negative with it, and says all these things. Puts the cap on it. Puts that in the fridge. Now, the bottle in which he was so kind with, the water starts to crystallize or something. But then the other bottle, it starts to get all funky. And this is just by words. So, what is happening in this universe that something like that could occur? It really makes one think. Like, if words have that kind of effect, I mean, wouldn't you all want to just wake up and say nice things in the mirror to yourself? There's a whole thing. Like if you watch a lot of these celebrity stories that they had, crappy times, and then they just started believing in themselves and manifesting in front of a mirror, saying like good affirmations and mantras and stuff, and then things happen. Well, it's almost like the science of manifestation is a real thing. And so that's something I'm willing to explore. You know, I'm going to even start with you all out there. Like, I wish, I see you all having a great day today. I see you all having, like, things fall into place for you and, not having too much of a struggle and just things flowing and just being at peace and being happy and grateful. And I can see that in you. I see that in a lot of people. But, the reality is we all make choices. So while I put that out there for you, I'm going to do something for myself. Because, back to the whole airplane mask thing, got to put your own mask on before you put your kid's mask on. So at the end of this podcast today, let's do a little positive affirmation. It's interesting, SNL used to have Stuart Smalley, and he'd be like, "I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me." Which when Al Franken did that, it's almost like he was obviously mocking someone of that nature. But in turn, doing those things really, there's some weight to it. So even though it looked like a joke back in the 80s, I believe that there's some power to it. So here are some mantras that I use that if you like it, great, follow along. If not, you can listen and go, that dude's straight batshit crazy. And that's cool because, I aspire to be one of the crazy ones, the misfits, the round pegs, the square holes, all that stuff from the Apple spot from the 90s. So here goes. I am happy. I am grateful to be in this realm. I'm thankful for all those around me. I am compassionate for those going through hard times. I am full of love to share with the universe. I am at peace with myself. While sometimes I may be exposed to some chaotic things, everything is going to be all right. And I know that. That is how I can stay calm, cool, collected, and not be reactive to the forces around me. Force is strong with you, it is. Yes, Joda, that was yesterday. Give me Cinco de Mayo. You had the Quattro. I will return on the 6 de Mayo. Much work need to be done. Okay, Joda. Okay, anyway. I am thankful for all the opportunities that I have, and I am always working hard, well, working smarter at how I can better myself and evolve into the person I know I can become. I am done with this podcast right now. And that's just a quick little mantra, little thing, put it out there for you all. I really, really, really hope you all have an amazing day. It's raining where I'm at today, and what's interesting in this little village is that when it rains, not a lot of people go out. And so I think I'm going to schedule an Umbrellafest. Next time it rains, like, hey, let's all go out and just walk around with umbrellas and be singing in the rain. We'll put on like raincoats and rubber boots and have some fun and understand that water is good. And if they go into a pool, it's no big deal. But if you're out in the rain, it's like you're like the wicked witch of the west. Not the good witch, the Glenda, the east. You're like wicked witch of the west. Not that there's anything wrong with the west or the east or anything like that, but this I think from the Wizard of Oz. Or it could be north and south. I don't remember. I haven't seen Wizard of Oz in a while. But point of the matter is, when life rains, take out a bar of soap, clean off your soul, and roll with it, baby. Steve Winwood. I think that was Steve Winwood, right? Got to roll with it, baby. Something like that. Anyway, so podcast question of the day is, what would you like Johnny, to talk about on one of his episodes? And the poll is, have you ever created a podcast? Thank you so much for experiencing the show. As always, listening on the Spootify is where you can get the poll questions and the question of the episode. And there's even a place, there's a link you can click on to leave a voice message there. If not, you can always hit the Wizard Cast Cool line at 650-383-7469. That's right, 650-383-SHOW. I gotta go. Peace out.